Blossom: The Secret Life of Bella the Bee. Once upon a sunny spring morning, in a meadow filled with wildflowers of every color, a tiny bee named Bella stretched her wings for the very first time. The air smelled sweet, the sun was warm, and the hive was buzzing with life. Today was special. Bella was finally old enough to leave the nursery and begin her life as a worker bee. House: The Hive, a City of Bees. Bella's home was a golden palace made of wax, the hive. Inside, thousands of bees lived and worked together in perfect order. Every bee knew her job. The hive was divided into thousands of little hexagon-shaped rooms, called honeycombs, built by the bees themselves. The hive had 3 kinds of bees: the queen bee, who ruled the colony. Her name was Queen Melina, and she was the largest bee in the hive. Her main job was to lay eggs, hundreds each day, ensuring new generations of bees would always be born. She was cared for by special bees called attendants, who brushed her wings and fed her royal jelly. Worker bees, like Bella, who did almost everything: cleaning, nursing, building, collecting nectar, making honey, and even guarding the hive. Drone bees, who were the only males. They didn't collect food or work. Their only job was to mate with the queen so that the hive could continue to grow. Every bee respected the queen, and every day in the hive followed a rhythm as steady as the hum of their wings. Broom: Bella's first job, cleaning and caring. Before Bella could go outside, she had to help inside the hive. For her first few days, she worked as a cleaner, scrubbing the honeycomb cells with her tiny legs and tongue so the queen could lay new eggs. When she wasn't cleaning, Bella helped nurse the baby bees, feeding them pollen mixed with honey, a special food called bee bread. Every clean cell is a new home for life, said an older bee named Nora, who trained her. Bella loved the idea that her tiny efforts helped her whole colony thrive. Cherry Blossom: The adventure outside. Gathering nectar. After a week, Bella was ready for her first flight. She stepped out of the hive, and the world dazzled her. The sky was wide, the flowers were bright, and the meadow stretched endlessly. Remember, said Nora, we fly for the hive, not for ourselves. Bella flapped her wings and lifted off the ground, following the sweet scent of flowers. She landed gently on a pink clover blossom and dipped her long tongue into the flower's heart. She sipped the nectar, storing it in her honey stomach, a special pouch made just for carrying nectar. Then she brushed her body against the flower's pollen-covered stamens, dusting herself with golden powder. When she visited the next flower, some of that pollen rubbed off, helping the flower make seeds. Without realizing it, Bella had just done something amazing: she had pollinated the flowers. Woman dancing: The waggle dance. When Bella returned to the hive, she was bursting with excitement. So many flowers, she buzzed. To share what she found, she performed the famous waggle dance, a figure-8 pattern that told the other bees where to fly. The angle of her dance showed the direction of the flowers, and the speed showed how far away they were. The hive buzzed with excitement as dozens of bees prepared to follow her lead. Bella felt proud. She wasn't just one bee, she was part of a team that worked like a single heart. Honeypot: Making honey. Inside the hive, Bella passed her nectar to another bee, who chewed it and spread it into a honeycomb cell. Dozens of bees flapped their wings to dry out the water from the nectar, turning it into thick, golden honey. Once it was ready, the bees sealed it with a thin layer of wax to keep it fresh. This honey would feed the hive during cold or rainy days when they couldn't fly outside. Some behind rain cloud: Seasons of the hive. As the months passed, Bella saw how the hive changed with the seasons. Cherry Blossom: In spring, new bees were born, and the meadows were full of blossoms. Sun: In summer, the bees worked from dawn to dusk, making and storing honey. Maple Leaf: In autumn, they prepared for the cold, repairing the hive and filling the cells with food. Snowflake: In winter, the bees stayed close together, forming a warm cluster around the queen, eating their stored honey and humming softly to keep the hive alive. Even when snow covered the meadow, the hive never slept, it simply rested, waiting for the flowers to return. Crown: The queen's blessing. One spring, Queen Melina grew old and laid her final eggs. Among them was a special one, chosen to be the next queen. When the time came, the new queen was crowned, and the hive continued to thrive, as it always had. Before Queen Melina passed, she gathered her bees and said, "Remember, my children, no bee is too small to make a difference. Together, we make the world bloom." Bella never forgot those words. Globe showing Europe, Africa, the bee and the world. Years later, Bella became one of the hive's oldest and wisest bees. She had pollinated thousands of flowers, helped grow meadows full of fruit and color, and taught young bees the ways of the hive. As she watched a new generation of bees take flight, she whispered, "Where there are flowers, there is hope. And where there are bees, there is life." Yellow heart: Moral of the story: Bees may be small, but their work is mighty. They teach us about teamwork, dedication, and balance with nature. Without bees, there would be no flowers, no fruits, no honey, and no beauty in the fields. So next time you see a bee buzzing by, remember Bella's story, and thank her for helping the world bloom. Cherry Blossom Honeybee.